Greetings, YouTuber. You have entered the world of electrified midweg, gaming and streaming. And here is your host, all the way from the internet, Sly88Fry.
Sup, YouTube? It's your boy, Sly88Fry. Alright, once again, thank you so much, Bad Wolf, for making that awesome intro for my channel. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, it's goofy, but, like, cool at the same time. That's what I like about it. And he did it without me asking. He just was like, oh, you know, I'm such a big fan of Sly88Fry. Let's make him an intro just for fun. And he went ahead and did it, which was really nice of him. And I admit I haven't used it in every single one of my videos, but I probably should use it in more, especially these shorter ones. Anyways, I'm doing another quick react to a brand new Jonathan Pie video that just came out today. In fact, like 2 hours ago or something, which over there in the UK would have been like 4. As right now it's 10, and 2 hours ago would be like 8. Anyways, it would be 8. Ugh. Anyways, let's get this going. Some kind of 2020 election prediction. As far as I know, the UK's election's a different year than the US, so yeah, he might be actually talking about the United States election. I'm interested in what he's going to have to say. If you guys would like to see me make an election prediction myself, I'm totally on board with that. Be easy for me to make. I actually made one in 2016 on my secondary channel, Broadsword Media, which is discontinued now. But I'm willing to make one here on this channel. And instead of adding those increased special effects I used before, which I think I'll probably just do 270 to win website. Although, no, it might be more fun to add those effects again, actually. Anyways, let's get this going.
On course to be the biggest voter turnout in a century, which experts say is good news for the Biden campaign. And with a steady 10-point lead in the national polls, we ask, is there any way at this late stage for Trump to win a second term?
Yeah, there is.
I'll tell you how Trump can win a second term.
Okay.
With news stories like this one. Tim, the headlines tonight: foregone conclusion, hashtag Trump is losing.
Yeah, exactly.
The orange man bad is going to lose, and now the weather. Have we all just forgotten what happened last time?
Yeah.
Experts, the polls. Hillary Clinton recently said that she can't entertain the idea of him winning a second term. Maybe if you'd entertain the idea that he could win a first term. Yeah?
Exactly.
Trump doesn't just go away because you can't understand why anyone would vote for him. You can't win an election by sticking your fingers in your ears.
Exactly.
This is how Trump got here. Republicans assumed Trump couldn't win the nomination. The Democrats and the world's media assumed he couldn't win the presidency. And as we all now know, assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups.
It is.
The moment the Democrats thought they had it in the bag, the moment Clinton called potential Trump voters a basket of deplorables, her fate was sealed. And we haven't learnt. Kirstie Alley recently endorsed Trump. She took a mammoth dry arse fucking on Twitter from so-called liberals. What do you think that does to other people thinking of voting for Trump? I think most are going to keep their mouth shut to avoid said dry arse fuck, and they're just going to wait until they're in the voting booth to express their opinion.
Exactly. That's what happened last time.
There's no conversation anymore. There's no national debate. If you like Trump, you watch Fox News. If you don't, you don't. And no one talks to the other side, and you only see what you want to see.
Yeah.
Politics, it's no longer about a rational choice. It's about tribal affiliation. There's no ideology.
It is.
What does it
truly
mean
is.
to be a conservative in America these days? It's not about fiscal responsibility anymore, because giving huge tax breaks to billionaires isn't fiscally responsible or indeed moral. It's not about Christian values. The evangelicals, they just ignore Trump's unchristian behavior and then convince themselves he's a Christian because he lets them walk around Walmart with military-grade assault rifles. But imagine their rage if Hillary had had 5 kids by 3 different men and had paid off a porn star. It's them and us. And that's all there is, you know? There's no ideology. Conservatism in Trump's America is about one thing and one thing alone: owning libtards, making college-educated liberal snowflakes upset. That is the Trump doctrine, trolling libs.
Yeah.
And then there's the Democrats, different side to the same coin. What do the Democrats stand for? Look at this election. What do they stand for? Beating
Vote
Trump.
shaming.
Because he's a thug, and he's rude, and he's uneducated, as well as being a demonstrable bigot. But beating Trump is not a political ideology. I'm sorry, it's not.
You're
what
right.
do you stand for? We
Exactly.
stand against Trump. Now,
What do you stand
that's reason
for?
enough for someone like me who thinks Trump is a fat, narcissistic, despotic bubble of spunk. But it's not me you're trying to persuade. You're more than welcome to despair that anyone could be undecided in this election and dismiss anyone even thinking of voting for that man as a racist or a misogynist.
Yeah, it's a pretty stupid thing to do.
Do you want their vote or don't you? 'Cause
Exactly.
that's how you win an election. That's how you beat Trump. What about those people who think Trump is a fucking idiot, but who've found it a bit easier to put food on their table under him than they did under Obama? What about them?
Yeah.
Because there are millions of them. How are you trying to persuade them? Well, Trump's an idiot. Well, yeah, we know that. They know that. What do you stand for? We stand for women and minorities. Okay, that sounds disconcertingly vague. How?
Exactly,
Well, we
it's
just stand
vague.
for them, particularly if they're a Democrat. You know, is it just me, or is their campaign a bit half-assed?
It is.
Look who they've chosen as their nominee, Joe Biden. What
Yeah.
do you stand for? Joe, I stand for not being like Trump. I stand for being a bit like Obama. I stand for being a bit like Obama in a retirement home.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Maybe Joe Biden is the double dose of Valium America needs right now. Just fucking set the dial back to vanilla and everyone can just take a breath. But right now, I genuinely can't see how Trump can lose this election, whether outright or by a protracted legal fight. Fuck the polls, fuck the numbers. I can feel it in my gut. Just like last time, I could feel Trump was going to do it. My fear is, once again, there's a lot of shy Trump voters being undercounted by the polls who are about to spring another huge surprise. But if I'm wrong, and I hope I am, but if Trump does lose on Tuesday night, it might not be a rejection of his America First doctrine, his tough immigration stance, his disastrous COVID response. If he loses, it might be because everyone has simply got fed up with him being such a fucking cock all the fucking time. Well, with days to go, both candidates are frantically crisscrossing the country, hitting the swing states. Florida is the one.
I honestly do not care what the polls say. Trump has a good chance of winning this time, too. Look, in my 2016 election prediction video, I predicted Trump would win. I knew he was going to win. Now, those who watch the mainstream media probably thought that Hillary would win. But I didn't care about the mainstream media. All they do, they show their clear bias for establishment Democrats. They're showing their clear bias for Biden and hatred against Bernie during the primaries. They're showing their clear bias for Hillary Clinton back then. But I was on the internet a lot, and like I still am, and whenever I went online, I never saw Hillary supporters anywhere. They hardly existed. I saw a ton of Bernie Sanders supporters, and I saw a whole lot of Trump supporters. It didn't surprise me that Trump won. It really didn't. I knew he was going to win. In fact, my prediction video stated that Donald Trump would win. I predicted 280 to 254, I think. I think it turned out to be, 306 to 232, I believe. I got 2 states wrong, just 2 states wrong, Michigan and Wisconsin. Those are the only states I got wrong. I was under the impression that there was no way Michigan would vote for Republican because I don't know for sure, but I felt pretty certain the Flint, Michigan thing with the lead poisoning in the water was allowed by a Republican representative in government. I would assume, although looking back at it, maybe it was a Democrat. Because now that I see both parties for what they truly are, they only care about their corporate donors. They don't actually care about the people. That's why this is a battle between the lesser of two evils. That's why this is an extremely toxic election. People on the Biden side are incapable of coming up with a good reason to vote for him. The only reason they give is that he's not Trump. That's the only reason. They'll bring up some other things, but these other things are half-assed. Like any kind of improvement to Medicare is half-assed. It's just a continuation of Obamacare, which was an improvement, but it's no, it's not enough. And not to mention, Kamala Harris, I even have actual video proof of it. If you go to my It's Bullshit video about the 2020 election, it's 2 parts. Part 1 is when I actually talk about her. Part 2, I talk about, me and my friend John talk about other things. But Kamala Harris, his running mate, is a flat-out liar. She will say one thing and do another. She will say, she started out with a progressive stance, then she started to lose, and then decided to be establishment. She changed her viewpoints based on what would get her more popularity at the time. Anyways, watch the video to see what I'm talking about. But the fact is, this is an election of the lesser of two evils. Now, I already voted. In fact, I voted yes on Prop 22 here in California. Please, if you live in California, vote yes on Prop 22. It has to succeed. Us DoorDashers, Uber drivers, whatever the case may be, we want to remain independent contractors. Most of us actually do DoorDash, Uber as a second job. Those of us who do it full-time still want to be an independent contractor so we can work at our own convenience. The reason we chose not to work a regular job and chose this job is because we like the convenience of working at our own schedule. I don't think there's anything wrong with being an employee at like a restaurant or, a store or whatever the case may be, but this kind of job, you work by yourself. Why be required to be an employee to work by yourself? Independent contractor makes a lot more logical sense. And, not to mention, if we become employees instead, if Prop 22 fails, what's going to happen is we're going to actually make less money. It's going to actually be more expensive for DoorDash and Uber to maintain, and they would probably just pay us minimum wage, which here in the state of California is $12 an hour. Depending on your employer, it could be $13 an hour. And that's not even close to enough to live here in California. That's why it's gradually going to go up to $15 an hour in a few years. When I do DoorDash, as long as I'm consistently doing deliveries, I easily make above $20 an hour, no problem. It happens constantly. There are times where I make less, like 15 or 16, but consistently I'm making more than I ever would make at an hourly rate. So please make sure Prop 22 passes. Anyways, that'll be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell icon to add notifications. I actually got a bunch more Jonathan Pye React videos you could check out on my Jonathan Pye React playlist. Of course, check out Jonathan Pye's channel. And if you'd like to see me do an election prediction, please let me know. I am considering it. I mean, I might just do it anyway, but let me know if you'd like to see one. Thank you so much.